guys, from Steph to you. I spent the morning uh, talking with some Patriots fans about this interview that Wes Welker did, where he just kind of said that, and his quote was, "It wouldn't be the worst situation as far as returning to the Patriots." And I just kind of wanted to address, every first of all, let me preference my comments by saying I realize that every fan base has a group of fans that just kind of say things that they're not educated. They don't look at the genesis of it. They also forget that players are also people and they have egos and just different things that come into why people either make a deal or decide to part ways. And so I've just seen a lot of idiotic comments, and I just kind of wanted to take the time to address this. And I'm sure all the real Patriot fans will understand what I'm talking about. First of all, if you know the Patriots organization, one of the things that makes the Patriots organization different is that they'll make any decision that they think makes the team better. After I believe it was the '09 season, we had a Pro Bowl defensive end Richard Seymour, and they went ahead and traded him to the Raiders. You know, we had Logan Mankins, who was a Pro Bowl guard that played years for us, and we asked him to take a pay cut. He wouldn't do it. We traded him. We had Aqib Talib, who we got, and then we didn't offer him the kind of money we offered Darrell Reeves, which was a smart deal, but we let him go to the Broncos. These guys are going to go where they feel that they can not only play and make money, but they want a good opportunity. No one wants to play for a horrible team. Unless the money is just absolutely ridiculous. That's why you don't see too many big free agencies going to the Jaguars or the Raiders or the Buccaneers. Not too many people want to go play there. And anyway, I want to talk first about the difference between these guys, Wes Welker, because everyone's saying Wes Welker to Julian Edelman. Well, Julian Edelman was not who was replacing Wes Welker. Let's not forget, Julian Edelman came in 2009 as a 7th-round quarterback who was going to learn to play either corner or receiver. He learned, and this is out of his own mouth, pretty much everything about playing receiver and punt returning from Wes Welker. When Wes Welker came to us in 2007, he'd only really been a kind of a utility receiver, but mainly a punt and kick returner. So, he kind of helped develop Julian, because coaches can only coach you, but you need to learn from other people that are actually doing it to learn. The other point I want to make is, so Wes Welker came in, had big numbers right away. His first year, caught 112 balls for almost 1,200 yards and about 8 touchdowns. He played, and they're talking about how injury prone he is. He played 6 years with us. He missed 3 games in 6 years. So 3 games in 6 years, he was hurt. His worst year with us was in 2010. He caught 86 balls for 848 yards and I think 7 touchdowns. Okay. So worst year, 86, 848, and 7. His best year was 123 yards, I think 1,500 plus about 1,500 yards. So 123 receiving, 123 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 9 touchdowns. So Danny Amendola's best year in his career came the year before we signed him, 2012. He had 63 catches for receptions for 666 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Wes Welker's worst year, he still caught 200 yards more than Danny Amendola's best year. He still doubled his touchdown production. And then Wes Welker went on he didn't catch as many balls with his next year with Manning. I think he caught like 775 yards, and I think he had about 70 catches. But he did catch a career-high 10 touchdown passes. So we have to also look at why he left. Well, the reason he left was we already signed Danny Amendola. A lot of people don't know this. The Patriots already signed Danny Amendola. Then they offered Wes Welker a 2-year, $12 million a year deal. We had franchised him before. Now, for him, it would probably kind of like, wait a minute, this guy, Danny Amendola, who has done about half of my production, got a 4-year deal. A 4-year deal, and it was way more guaranteed money because they thought he would have good upside. Well, week 1 of the 2013 season, Danny Amendola tears his groin. He had a pretty good game up until then, but he tore his groin. Julian Edelman wasn't even in the starting lineup that game. I watched that game. The only reason Julian came in is because Aaron Dobson and Kenbrell Tompkins were running the wrong routes, and we were getting beat up. And that's where Julian Edelman has kind of come up because, you know, before 2012, he hadn't really had, I think he caught 27 balls the year before. So Julian Edelman has been a product of an opportunity that he took full advantage of because he knew the playbook. He had great rapport with Tom Brady, and you know, he's done very well. So stop comparing Edelman with Welker because they already played together, and now Edelman's kind of showing. And also, don't forget, Julian Edelman, we signed in the year that we signed 2013, that we signed Danny Amendola. We signed Edelman to only a 1-year league minimum deal. So it's not like we thought that he was, you know, you think that if they thought he was going to do what he did, that they would have only signed him to a 1-year league minimum. They would have probably given him at least $1 million and signed him to a longer contract. That's why last year we had to really pay up. He actually went and had meetings with the Broncos, the Niners, and a few other teams because these guys only have one shot to make a certain amount of money, you know, in their lifetime. It's not like this isn't the NBA or baseball where you can make, you know, $400 million. Very few players, you know, with Darrelle Revis and some of the quarterbacks and defensive end. I mean, there's not too many players that are going to make that. They're going to make about, you know, $20 million, which is granted a ton of money still. But I'm just saying, you know, don't forget Wes Welker and Julian Edelman had years where they didn't make that much. The first few years. So you usually get 1 or 2 big paydays, and that's it. So Amendola gets hurt week 1. Edelman steps in and he becomes the go-to receiver. You know, you guys forget the Patriots. You know, as being a Patriots fan, you have to know your team's strengths and weaknesses. We're very, very bad at drafting receivers. You know, let's look back. Brandon Tate. He didn't do much with us. Taylor Price. I don't think he ever really even started a regular season game with us. We took him in the, I believe it was the 3rd round. Aaron Dobson, we took in the 2nd round. And he actually lost playing time to Kenbrell Tompkins, who was an undrafted free agent that we took. Now, Aaron Dobson, he was a healthy scratch most of last year. Josh Boyce, we took in the 4th round. He's on the practice squad now. The Patriots have done well with bringing free agents. Randy Moss. You know, if you want to go back even further, David Gibbons. You know, Ocho Cinco, we brought him in, but he didn't work out. You know, so it's not always going to be, the offense is very complex. It takes a certain kind of receiver to not just have the physical abilities, but to have because you have to, there's so many options on one route. You have to be reading the defense exactly how Tom Brady is. And you can't put a price on that. Brandon Lloyd did, you know, okay when he came to the Patriots, but he was a locker room issue. You know, he would get in fights with teammates, and you know, again, these things aren't widely reported on, but if you're a very in-tune fan, you'll know these things. So that's why they let him go. And then he didn't even play in the league in 2013. And then he went to the Niners last year where he had like 200 yards receiving. So when you guys look at these players, think about what you're saying. No one's saying that Wes Welker is going to come in and be the #1 receiver. But if you can replace Danny Amendola with Wes Welker, why wouldn't you? It's not like Danny Amendola has torn it up, and he's in the 2 years he's been with the Patriots, he's missed 4 games. So he missed more games in 2 years than Wes Welker missed in his entire 6 years with the Patriots. And he hasn't had even half of the production. So you guys really got to, you know, stop looking at this, well, he left to go play with Peyton Manning. No, the Patriots offered an unproven guy the contract he wanted, and then he got an opportunity to go play for another team with Peyton Manning that was loading up on talent, and he went. And but there's so many players that have spoken. I mean, look at we just re-signed Brandon Spikes. He said more about Bill Belichick than Wes Welker ever. He called his time in New England 4 years a slave, and we've had a lot of players that have spoken out against Bill Belichick or said something about the team, and we brought them back. So I don't think it's an issue of like it's some sort of thing that they won't be able to get over and overcome. So just keep it in perspective. Anybody that says that Danny Amendola is better than Wes Welker is crazy. Wes Welker is he's what 4-time Pro Bowler. He's gonna probably go down into the Hall of Fame. And I really think one thing too is don't forget that he is a very good personal friend of Tom Brady. They have really good rapport. He knows the offense, and above all, he has that on-field camaraderie, rapport where he knows where to be to get Tom the ball. Everyone wants us to get these, Randy Mosses and throw it deep, but that really hasn't been the Patriots game. We don't really throw the ball deep. Don't forget we did the 2 tight end sets for years. They didn't throw the ball deep. Randy Moss, that was 3 years that they did that, but that's really not been the Patriots games. They use their passing game as kind of like a running game, just quick, short, and they'll just shred you 10 yards, 12 yards, 9 yards, and that's the game that they play. That's how we won the Super Bowl. It's not like we were throwing bombs down the field. We just slant routes across the middle with Julian, using Gronk, go out in single coverage. You got to look at what kind of team we are and stop thinking that they're going to have a Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones go bomb the ball. We have only had that one time, and granted it was a great year, but we still didn't win the Super Bowl. So just keep it in perspective, guys. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you around.